coming. We're coming. Live, live, live. We are out here in Mother Nature on a crisp 40-degree morning, right?
I'm going to be joining you in just a second.
My fellow sister in wellness, my uncut Jim. Hey, she's right here. She's getting it together.
All right.
She said I am an elder, but I think she's right behind me.
I am. Oh my gosh.
Because we are like over here. Okay, it should be very simple, and we wanted this to be so simple. But right now, we were just having some challenges, and henceforth, we're just leaning into the challenges. So I think we have like several streams going. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and we are here together. We're outside. We're in front of my house. We decided to do this outside, right, in an effort to just be safe, right? Because we're living in this pandemic. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm going to try to put my mask on because I naturally will want to move close. But
I know.
It's also important that we maintain our health and safety. So why are we here today? First of all, welcome everyone. It is Sunday. It is noon here on the East Coast. And let me see. I want to make sure that everybody's seeing. This is still telling followers. Hang on, we're telling your followers. So my live will go, but I know, Jorae, your live is on, so we're good.
I'm live on Instagram. I'm going live on my Facebook.
Okay, so she's still getting it together. But anyway, we're here. So it's International Mind Body Wellness Day. It is Sunday. We are out here together, and are you live?
I am live on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay, start live video. Let me go put this one up.
You should see the technology setup we got going on here. We have like 4 different devices.
I know.
Let
Let
the
them
people see. Like, let the people see. Hey, welcome. We have all this going on. We've got, and I need to put my Facebook up here so that people can really see. This is a labor of love, okay? So we're going live here in multiple places.
I think that may get us both.
Can you get us both? It's fine. Let's log in again.
Okay.
My session expired. So we want to tell everyone about International Mind Body Wellness Day and why we're here. All right? So we've been knowing each other for quite some time.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know, how many years?
Wow. The children were small.
Children
15?
were small. Maybe 15, close to 15 years. I've been here 16 years, so I think we met shortly after I moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been about 15 years.
15 years.
And we have always, I think, similarly been in the space of wellness and health, right, on this journey, right? And that's the first thing I want people to understand, that wellness and health is a lifelong journey. It's not one thing, right?
Right.
Would you agree?
Absolutely.
It encompasses many things. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kimiko. I know Jorae has Sacred Waters Wellness, has her whole following coming on. We've got multiple devices happening. You might know me. You might know Kelly Jorae here. But just by way of introduction for me, I feel like I've been on this wellness journey for my entire life. And every year, every day, I would say, I evolve to be better. At least I strive and live to be better. So the first thing I want to say is that wellness is a way of life. It's not, right? It's not like going to, and I'm a yoga instructor. People who know me know that I teach and I educate. I like to say yoga educator more than an instructor. But it's more than a yoga practice. It's more than drinking lots of water. It's more than, swimming, running, biking, whatever it is you do.
Yeah, it's more than what you eat.
Yes.
It is. It's everything integrated. It is the entire body from the inside out. It is the relationship that we have with Mother Nature.
And where are we now? We're out here.
We're out here in nature.
Right, which is why we chose this setting.
It is everything.
Yes.
It is everything. It's
everything. And Jorae, tell people what you told me. I said, so how was your drive? What'd you say?
It was a journey. It was a journey.
It was a journey.
And as I entered your immediate community, I was like, okay, there's still quite a few houses. But then when I pulled up on her estate and her long driveway, I said it was worth it.
Okay.
It would have to be the land where it encompasses everything. You have room for your horse stable, your tennis court, your lake, and your Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Yes.
So that's what we have here in our environment. And it's absolutely beautiful, and it's flourishing with, green abundance. So
yeah, and so being in nature is another way that we encourage you to invest in your health, right? One of the things that I do, particularly when the weather is warm, I always come out, take my shoes and socks off, and step
into that earth.
Step on Mama Earth, because
that
the earth is carrying electrical charges and currents, and we know that the earth is grounding, right? So I'm just going to jump right in, because we talked about, Jorae and I, prior to this, we talked about what we wanted to do and what we wanted to share, right?
Yes.
And we were like, let's just share our favorite, our top 10 tips about being well. Jorae's like, 10, that's a lot. I'm like, well, you can do 5 and I can do 5, right? Or we can share, whatever. So we said we were going to do 3. And then I thought about it this morning. I said, you know what? I'm going to do 4 and a possible, 4 and a bonus. Kind of like how we play cards, right?
And that's how I was feeling the same.
Yeah.
And I figured it'll just actually come out. It'll flow.
The way it should.
And as you guys have already figured, Kimiko is, she's supercharged. And that's one thing that I love about her. This woman has this everlasting energy and vitality.
Oh, thank you,
it shows in the way she communicates, and also her performance in yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, and the way she runs her micro enterprise. So I've been watching her for a very long time, and I watch her. We kind of have that big sister thing going here, but I'm not too far behind. She just has, that old soulful, nurturing feeling, but at the same time, she has this real hip, chic, goddess, vibe about herself, and I just absolutely love it.
Thank you so much, sis. I think we're, one of the things I often say is that we are reflections of each other, right?
Absolutely.
We reflect each other. And I also know that for me, it is true that I am drawn to certain people. And certain people are drawn to me. And I'm sure any of you who are viewing this would agree that the people in your space, there's a magnetism, right? There's this connection, right? Are we going to talk about it?
Yes.
Energy is real.
Yes.
We talk about energy all the time. It is real. Like when you think about somebody
your tribe.
your tribe, yes.
You know
who you feel at home with, right?
Exactly.
And I've always felt at home in your presence, in your space. And I've watched you evolve and grow over the years.
So
I'm like,
much.
look at my girl.
So we both know we're the bomb.
Yes.
But I want to say something about the, the being magnetic.
Yes.
A good dear sister friend of mine, I did see her come on, Andrea. She's a Chicago sister, and I call her, she has this very gentle alpha, energy, and I love it because it's nurturing, but it's not overbearing, and it comes, her love speaks through. But as far as being a magnet, that's one thing that she was saying about me, to make me think. This morning when I was in the mirror doing, my routine, my ritual, my self-care.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you finish because I want to know what your ritual is.
I was in the mirror, affirmations, and one of my morning affirmations was I am an amazing magnetic attractor.
Yes.
I attract amazing people in my life.
Yes.
And some of them come, I should say, and
pass
go,
through.
and some of them come and they stay, for forever.
Yes.
So I'm proud of that, to be able to attract amazing people. And it also shows in my business at Sacred Waters Wellness Art Studio. I get some amazing people that come through there. Very amazing. Now, I'm fun and playful and but very professional and meticulous on how I provide service to my clients. And it's rare, but it's been maybe just a few over the 13 years that have become a part of my life and have stayed. And it's very special. But I know I'm an amazing, magnetic, person attractor.
You
I
are.
attract amazing
That you
people.
are. That you are. So tell people what your routine is. You mentioned that you have, like this morning when you were doing, engaging in your routine. So I can only, and I'm making the strong assumption, which I know that whatever it is your routine is healthy. It is part of feeding and investing into yourself and continuing to cultivate this idea and sense of wellness. So just give people, in terms of tips, what is it that you do as a regimen, routine, or something you do regularly every day?
Okay, well, I want to say, I want to preface it with this, is because of the work that I do, and I also believe the way that I carry myself, the way I present myself to the world, I may appear, that I have the healthy, balance, and to a point of perfection, which,
Well, that's an illusion.
Yeah, that is, and it's all perception as well.
Perception.
So we see each other differently, depending on that relationship. So, I have a routine. There's things that I do, but I may not, precisely, 8 a.m.,
Yes.
I'm here and there.
Some
may
things
not
you
always
do
be
with
that way.
regularity.
Yeah, but just, in the morning, in terms of my, my hygiene, I do like to wake up in the morning and have hydration, hydrate myself. And that could very well be water with, my minerals. I make sure that I get my minerals in the morning. It may be infused with lemon. But even prior to that, my bathing, and my showering in the morning, my my reflection. I talk to myself in the mirror, and I tell myself, "You are beautiful. You are a goddess." Yes, that is so important.
Ooh, talk about goddess now.
Yes.
You going on to my. Is that a plug-in for me?
That is a plug-in, but I think that all women should do that.
Yes.
I dance in my mirror.
Yes.
I'm at that point in my life where I'm not bouncing and dancing all over the internet, but it is nice to to give that sometimes. Yes. Even to the world, because that's who I am.
Yes.
But in the morning I do my my movement. I do my movement before before the shower and after the shower.
Well, that's one of our tips, right?
Yes.
One of the tips, right? One of our top 10 tips as we have this conversation is movement. What type of movement, I would say, are you engaged in, right? Now, I have my favorite form of movement is my yoga practice. But I love to dance. I love to go for walks. I love to go hiking. I love swimming. I love moving my body, because this is what I know about the body. Now, I am an expert on the body. I'm not an expert on my body. Okay?
Right.
And I want to say, right, because I have also been working on language and how I talk to myself in terms of what I am and what I say I am not. So I'm going to affirm in a positive way, I am an expert on my body. My body has been blessed to birth 5 humans. Naturally, right? So 5 living beings when I think about the magnitude of the fact that I've been blessed to house, incubate and birth 5 children, it's pretty powerful, right?
Creation.
It's creation,
oh
right? Because we are created. So let's take a breath. I gotta take a breath on that. Woo, because that's another one of our tips, y'all. But on the movement tip, the body is a complex machine. In fact, the body is the most complex machine on the planet, bar none. There is no man-made machine more complex than the human body. And the human body has many systems inside of it that are functioning and working, whether or not we think about it on a daily basis, right? So just as an example, the shoulder, the joints, right? Moving your shoulders, right? Stretching your fingers. We're on these computers and dealing with technology and sitting, and our posture is changing. So many things are happening. So even if we just focus on one area of the body, you can think about the complexity of the ligaments in the shoulder.
The complexity of the ligaments
in the shoulder.
Okay.
Did you hear that, people? The complexity. That's some vocab for you.
Right.
Which I've homeschooled my children for 20 years. So, and I did teach grammar and writing, and I love language. I love the words. I love the use of words and putting them together. So, yeah, it's complex. The body needs to move. Your body is not designed to be sedentary, to sit still. We are designed, naturally created to move. So movement, you got to start with some movement, okay?
Yeah.
In what I just said, I said, let's take a breath, right? So, oh my goodness, breath. Let's take a breath. Everybody, if you're watching us, please just pause for a moment wherever you are. If you're in your car, if you're walking, you could be walking. Seal your lips, and breathe in through your nose.
And feel that belly extend out.
Yes, belly
inhale.
rises on the inhale, right? Because we're filling up the body with this prana, this energy, this breath.
Soft
and then,
belly.
right? Then as you let it go, you can let it go through the nose. You can say, you can press it out through your mouth, right? See, I'm turning my head so I'm not blowing out through Jorae. But the breath is so critical. One of the things that I teach in my classes and anybody I talk with or work with is that the breath is the bridge between the mind and the heart. The breath is a bridge. It's a connector from here to here.
That's the breath.
It's the breath. And not only is the breath a requirement for life, right? It is the source of life. It is a requirement to live, to breathe, because we know that if we're not breathing, we're not living.
Right.
But you know what else I know, people, and this particularly for black folks? Breath is a privilege. Our breath is a privilege.
It really is.
To breathe, to take in air, to be here right now in this moment, just the mere practice of breathing is a gift and a privilege.
And so that was a plug-in for me.
Breathe. Yes.
So,
go ahead.
In this state that we're in, in this pandemic,
Pandemic.
We're dealing with a respiratory virus.
Yes.
And I've seen an uptick of just Americans, reaching to use, natural remedies, herbs. So I want to throw out a few that are really important to have, right now on your shelf. One in particular is mullein.
Mullein, which grows in the wild, by the way.
Yes.
It grows out here.
Yeah,
it
and
grows.
I pick it.
Yeah.
I get out there and
my
pick
mom
it.
taught me that. My mother is like pioneer, trailblazer in the space of wellness. She has been picking wild herbs for her entire life, and we were raised that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mullein is one particular herb, and you can find that in Georgia. There, you can also find, the rosemary, your onion grasses. But for respiratory, I recommend to do your research. But I highly recommend it. I suggest it to clients all the time. They thank me after they begin using it, especially if they have any respiratory conditions. And I want to speak to, my Cali cousins or any of the like who do smoke, even cannabis. If you're using, there's definitely medicinal benefits to cannabis. Yes. Depending on how you're using it. Yes. Some people are abusing it. But I do recommend consuming mullein, especially for people who smoke any form of, tobacco product or have been born with respiratory conditions. So mullein is excellent. It's great if you combine it with fenugreek, which is typically the seed of the fenugreek seed.
So for people who may not be familiar with these things, mullein, just so you know, is M-U. You want to spell it for them? It's M-U. Go ahead.
M-U-L-L-E-I-N.
E-I-N. That's
E-I-N.
right. Because you might be saying mullein, even if you're trying to Google it right now, mullein is E-I-N. And also fenugreek is fen as in fender or fence, U, the letter U, and then Greek as in the Greek culture. Okay, so fenugreek. That's what she's saying.
Those are two excellent herbs, but there's tons. Astragalus, which is a Chinese herb, it has antimicrobial activity. It's good for inflammation, breaking down excess mucus. So I am a traditional herbalist. I use my herbs on a regular day for my just every day.
Yeah,
they're used every day from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, I'm using herbs. They're in my toothpaste. They're in my skin care products, my hair care products. So, but in terms of your respiratory health, those are some herbs that people can actually start using now, and they're very safe. You can find them at most health food stores. If you need help, of course, I'm gonna help you find them right at Sacred Waters Wellness Art Studio.
And we're gonna put right at Sacred Waters Wellness Art Studio, located in Fayetteville, Georgia, and we will put this information in our feeds as we share the videos. If you want to learn more about Jorae, her traditional herb usage, and just visit her studio. And her space is beautiful, right? Like the space, you walk in there, it's all about healing. Like you just feel healed walking in the door. It's like, woo, yes.
Thank you so much.
It's a beautiful space.
That's what I want people to feel.
And it's definitely there. So she's located in Fayetteville, Georgia. So we talked about breath. We talked about movement. Yes. We talked about earlier on, you mentioned, and it's not just the foods, but we can talk about what we put in our bodies, right? Because the other thing that I talk about a lot is input. So we have the sources of input for the human body are the skin, right? The largest organ of the body. We input through our ears. We input through our eyes. We input here through the mouth.
And
right?
the nose.
And the nose, right? So henceforth, you see the connection, the breath, right? So these are your places of input. So when you think about all these sources of input, what are you putting in? So let's talk about what we consume, right? So Jorae mentioned, yes, and she's waving to, and I see you guys, we're just trying to like keep the conversation going and sharing.
And stay warm at the same time.
Stay warm.
It's a nice cold.
My heart is warm, yes. I'm warm inside, right? So talk inside out, because that's the thing, right? Like
Right.
taking care of the inside so that the outside will reflect what is happening in the inside. So what we put in our bodies, right? And henceforth, so food, what you consume, food. I am not vegan or 100% vegetarian. For those who might be listening, I am very much plant-based, right? But I will dabble every now and then. I will taste a piece of flesh, and I will have some fish, right?
Okay.
That's my choice. That's what I do, and I'm sticking to it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what I choose to ingest, though, anything, because I do cook my own food. I'm not a fast food eater. I tend not to buy things out. I don't do that. I cook.
Good.
Yeah, I cook,
Great.
and always have been, right? I've always cooked for my family. I mean, having a large family, you're not buying food out too frequently, right? So I have always cooked. So I've developed that habit over the years. So my product that I have launched into naturally, right, is my kombucha. So if you're watching on my kombucha channel, for those who have experienced the product, I have a bottle for Jorae here.
Oh, thank
and
you.
this is she mentioned goddesses earlier, right? This is our moon goddess. Yes. And why did I chose moon goddess for today? Because moon goddess has in it elderberry, blueberry, acai, and ginger, right? All very good things for the immune system, for our health. And people ask me, how did I get into, where did I get into kombucha? How did that happen? Well, that happened about 13 years ago. I just discovered the product out in my shopping, and I was in a natural food store and shopping.
Okay.
Didn't know what it was, didn't recognize it, because I'm very much a reader of labels, and when I see things that I like, I want to.
Tell me, how many years ago?
13.
Okay, 13
years ago, right? And so I brought it back to my homeschooling community and asked around if anybody knew what it was or had heard of it. And one of the moms in the homeschooling community, sure enough, said she knew about it, was actually making some of her own, and shared with me how to make it, right, to this day. So Brenda, if you see this, I love you because you really were my introduction to this product. Now, kombucha is my brand of this product that's been an ancient product, been around for years. Just really what I'll say about it is that my kombucha is tasty, but I like to provide things that are not only delicious, but also nutritious, right? Because once again, we're talking about input, what we put in. So my product is very much in alignment with me.
Okay.
Right? It's in alignment with me. Like I have intentionally produced a product that supports our health, right? I engage in everything that I do professionally and personally is about living well. So, movement, breath, and number 3, nourishment, right? So that's what I'll say about, as we go on with these tips, right? It's important to know what you put in your body. If you want your body to feel good, you must put things in your body that support feeling good, right? Feeling good. It's all about feeling good. I've always said I want to live as long as I'm blessed to be on this planet, on Earth side, that this earthly house we live in, right? This vessel that we've been gifted. You only get one. You don't get another one. There's no take this part back to the. Well, maybe there is take this part back to the store and get another one. Like you could get a couple of replacements on some things, but I'm not trying to get no replacements, right?
Yeah, you want to just maintain what you have.
I want to take care of what has been given to me by the Most High. God has blessed me with this body, and I'm going to take care of it. I've told my kids, you all will not kill me. When it's my time, I'm just going to go, right? I'm just going to go naturally, but it's not going to be because I abused my body in any way. I'm not going to abuse my body.
The way that I think about it
is,
this is your house.
Yes.
You have to live in it.
Yes.
So it needs,
needs some things.
Needs maintenance. It needs, care.
Yeah.
It needs some remodeling, some,
freshen up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's like
you may need some energy cleansing.
Child, look, how about, this is what kills me, and I say this too. We have beautiful cars and beautiful homes. We wear lovely clothes. We take care of our hair. All of this stuff is external. But how are we taking care of what is inside? The inside. Yeah. Because that's a world. Important. It's a world in there. It is a huge world inside of our bodies. Right?
That's true.
So you might be wondering what's in my cup, and I'm drinking some peppermint tea. I'm going to open some kombucha, and I'm going to have Jorae taste this one while we're here, too, as we go through our tips. Yes. So we talked about movement, and we didn't demonstrate any movement.
Okay, so...
You want to do some movement?
What?
I have my yoga mat here.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
The only thing we might not have is music.
We have music.
Okay.
Alexa is right here.
Oh my God.
What you want Alexa to play? Listen. I come prepared. We have music. Alexa's right with us. What you wanted to play? Tell Alexa what you wanted to play.
Well, if
let's warm up a little bit.
We're gonna get our warm up with some yoga.
Let's get some. We're gonna get a little yoga.
Give us just a second, and we're gonna get this together.
And if you have a mat at home, you can grab your mat. And if you don't worry about it. You don't need a mat, right? You don't need a mat. All you need is yourself, an open mind. We're not gonna do anything that you can't do right along with us. So, let me come over here.
I'll put this over here.
Right. So I have actually one mat on top of another, but we can let me move this chair.
How about let me let you demo.
Okay, you want to come, but I can tell you what to do, and you can do it together, or I can do and you can do. We'll share because we have our little space here, and we want to bring our chairs back. So I took my shoes off, but I do, as I said, we're outside, so you see I have on my leggings, and I have on my pants, right? But I have on clothes that make me feel comfortable, that make me feel good, that are loose enough where I can move. So I love to, first of all, open up, lift my heart, open up my chest, stretch my arms. So first thing in the morning for me, I do this every morning, no matter where I am, no matter what. When I get out of the bed in the morning, I feel good. My body does not hurt. And that tells me that I'm doing something right? So I want you guys to do the same. So when you get up in the morning, just open up your arms, lift your heart, look up to the sky, look up to your ceiling. I happen to have a beautiful view of the sky, so I'm going to look up to the sky and just open up, right? And see how that feels in your back, right? So if you have any low back issues, you don't need to go very far. You can just press your shoulders back. If your neck doesn't feel good, keep your neck straight ahead. But again, press back. The idea is to lift the chest, lift the heart, to straighten up the spine. And the reason why I say that is because when we sit, we're sitting, we're aging, we're going over and over and over, and we want to counter that. So, come on over here.
Okay.
Jorae. Okay, come on, leave your socks on. I'm going to have you do this. So you could be here. You could be right there. Stand right there in the front. You could be right in the front.
Which way am
Then
I
back
facing?
up a little bit so people can see your face, right? And I'll be back here. So we're in one of these cameras, right? So just kind of open up. Yes, lift your heart. Lift your heart. Press your shoulders back. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Yes. You see how that feels? Just, oh my gosh, that just feels so good. Ooh, I hope you guys are doing this at home. All right? Bring your arms up to the top. Stretch your arms up, right? Just stretch up. So it's literally like stretching the side of the body. At the same time, we're pressing down through the feet, right? Remember, we talked about being grounded. So really press through your feet. Be mindful if you're stepping in or rounding out. Really press down through your toes. Spread your toes. Wiggle your toes, right? These are simple things you can do in the morning. Press over to one side. Choose a side. It doesn't matter. Go left or go right. Open up that side line of the body, right? We forget about the side. We think about the back, the front, and forget the side. Go to the other side, right? Because what we do on one side, we want to do on the other side, right? Stretching up. And then come forward. Forward fold. Soften your knees. Soften your knees. Soften your knees. Don't straighten. Don't lock your knees. Soft knees. Fall forward. All the way down. Let your hands come down. Dangle down. Dangle down. Yes. Woo. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Yeah, say, yes, I am. Say, no, I'm not doing that today. Do that, right? And then come on up to the top.
We still dangling, huh?
Yeah, come on up to the top. Keep your chin down to your chest, right? Chin down to the chest, right? And then I'm back over here. Press one ear to one shoulder. So I have my right ear to my right shoulder. Press that shoulder away. The opposite shoulder presses down. Lift the head up. Go to the other side. Right? So we touched on a few different parts. Right? Come back to center. Pick your knees up. Right? Like lift your knees. Right? You can pump it because that helps your joint, your knee, right? Your balance. Right? Pick it up. Yes. Kick it out. Whatever feels good, right? Like, woo! Okay. So now, we feel loose? Shake it out? All right. All right, Jorae. Give us a little, what do you want Alexa to play?
Oh, gosh.
Simple movements, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
Alexa, what you want her to play? Play some Aretha Franklin.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that one.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Alexa said she didn't
Did
know
you have
that
to try
one.
more than once to get my attention?
Alexa, play Respect. See if she'll play Respect. Alexa, play Respect.
Respect by Aretha Franklin.
See, you have to speak
Amazon
kindly
Music.
to Aretha, to Alexa. Okay, it's coming on.
When I'm in the morning, waking up in all my glory,
Yes.
and I don't have anyone to tell me that I'm corny.
Okay, I'm doing it over here.
Stretching in, you know, with that.
Yes. Go down. Okay.
Bring your hands closer together, and you just hold. Working out.
Yeah.
I'm tightening.
Pressing the core and the quads.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Yes.
And then just work your way back up.
Hey.
See, you can do this alone, or you can
Clap your hands.
do this without sitting.
Oh, yes, you can. Woo. Add that shoulder roll, right? Shoulder roll. Roll them shoulders, front and back. Woo! You can move the arms, right? Yeah. Yeah. Woo! And Jorae, she picks her leg up. Yes, pick it up.
Come on.
Bring them knees up. Jorae. Hey. Woo! Sweetheart, honey. And play your favorite song. That the music makes you feel good.
It does.
Yeah.
Music is healing.
Music is healing. Another tip, play music. Music. Music, right? Music feeds the soul. Yes.
I listen to music with lyrics to infuse me for the day.
Yes. Yes, because this is input, y'all. Alexa, stop playing. Okay, we're gonna tell Alexa to stop playing. But that was fun, right?
Yes.
And now we feel like we're a little bit warmed and we've moved about. But that
Yeah, I needed that.
the
Thank
words to the song, right? Like I intentionally chose something positive, right? Because that's input. So I want to make sure that I'm taking in things always that are good and healing and helping to encourage me to live well. All right, moving on from our tip. So after that, my next tip would be to rest.
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 Okay.
You got to get still. You have to rest. Do you know? So we know, well, I know people know this. I'm going to move your chair back. That there is a whole industry built around the fact that people don't rest. The sleep industry.
Sleep industry.
Right?
Yeah.
The sleep industry. People have to be taught how to do what is natural to themselves or retaught, right? We have to relearn this idea of rest. Let me look at some of the comments here.
And rest is very, it's essential. But, more importantly, is sleep. Making sure
Hi,
that your body is
Stacy.
getting enough sleep hours
Yes.
every night.
Thank
It gets
y'all.
difficult as you get older. I'll
Yes.
admit.
Yes.
And there are certain things that you can do to help enhance. But the breathing prior to
Yes.
bedtime
Yes.
and meditation.
Meditation, right?
And
So,
then just
that's that.
turning-
Just shutting out the world.
turning off everything.
And that's that stillness piece, right? Because again, we said breath, we said movement, we said nourishment. Now we're talking about rest, right? This is our fourth tip for healing and living well on this International Mind Body Wellness Day is rest. How do you rest? What is the quality of your rest, right? Because rest should be qualitative, right? So some people sleep for hours and then wake up tired. And that's because they're not resting.
Right.
So there's a difference between sleep and rest. So yes, I said there's a whole industry built around sleep. But really what it is resting. Lack of sleep, lack of rest is a form of torture.
It is.
It's used as a form of torture.
It is.
So that tells you how critical it is to rest.
And that begins with letting the mind settle down so that you don't have that chatter-brain, which is so common around this time of the year.
Yes.
Because everyone is thinking they're thinking about the future and not the here and now.
Right now. So let's do that right now. Let's just demonstrate what that looks like, right? So, and I do teach meditation, right? And I also practice. Not only do I teach this, I practice this myself, right? So while we're here right now, I want everybody just to, wherever you are, you can be lying on your back. You can be sitting in a chair. I just want you to be comfortable, right? The main thing, think comfort. Think just, if you need to get a cushion or a blanket or anything at all, just think comfort, right? Right? You can close your eyes or you can just take your gaze low. If you feel comfortable and safe wherever you are, please close your eyes. If you feel like you want to leave your eyes open, totally fine. But take your gaze down, right? Versus looking directly at the camera or at us, okay? Just look down.
And just make sure your hands and your feet and your legs are not crossed.
Yes, uncross your feet. Plant your feet firmly if you're sitting. If you're lying down, I would encourage you to separate your feet away from each other so that one heel is opposite of the other and the feet are allowed just to dangle out to the side softly. Right? And just take a moment and let's take 3 deep breaths together. 3. And just notice, not judge, not try to decipher or discern, just notice the sounds around you. And as you notice those sounds, one by one, I want you to turn away from them, turn in, tune in, right? So you might notice the most distant sound, and then start to tune your awareness in to the sound closest to you. beyond the sound of my voice, the sound of your breath. Allow your breath to be the bridge between your mind and your heart. And then if your eyes are closed, you can softly begin to flutter them open and just take in the sights. And just notice, just for these next few seconds, how you're feeling right now. Just coming back from a few moments of stillness. How did that make you feel? And
I want to tell you how I feel.
what? I want to hear how you felt. How did you
feel?
feel?
So calm right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it is cool out here, and I
Yeah.
have my blanket, to keep me warm.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
and the sounds were very crisp for me. The
Yeah,
birds
yeah.
sound almost like a duck, but I know it wasn't a duck.
It was like a bird. It was some kind of bird.
But it had a very interesting call.
Yeah.
And I can hear the trees whistling.
The leaves blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the the air. I can hear the wind.
And that's pretty powerful because the thing is, all these things are continuing to happen whether we pause and listen to it and pay attention or not, right? They're happening. But the idea is to pause long enough, right, to allow your mind to settle, as Jorae said at the beginning. And once your mind settles, your body settles, and then those two things begin to completely settle down. And you just, it just invokes
calmness.
It invokes
I
calmness.
feel a calmness.
Yes.
I sometimes, I am someone that is very confident that, things are going to always work out. In the past, and I'm using my words.
Okay.
In the past,
yes.
I have, been one to worry. And
Worry.
so,
Okay.
because my input has changed.
Yes.
I don't allow, this mass programming to be inputted in a level to where, I'm frantic or I'm paranoid. I was able to handle, the year 2020 fairly well. So it wasn't like one of the worst years, of my life.
Yeah, which if you listen to other people, oh, I'm so glad to see 2020 go away by 2020. You know what? 2020, yes, like any other year, presented challenges and unique challenges in particular. But to be present, even to experience 2020 is a blessing. Look how many people did not make it through 2020.
Right.
So let's reframe the language, right? About how
Absolutely.
we're feeling about that.
Absolutely.
Yes, I would
Yeah.
100% agree.
But I feel just at that moment a calmness. So that can definitely be something people use, and it is something that I suggest whenever I've worked with a client. I will suggest it, and I'll do it with them because you need that demo to get
to help people
comfortable.
get into
to just
it.
feel comfortable
Yeah,
with doing it. If you have a commute and you're driving, there's
Yes.
breathing techniques that you can use in
Yes.
your car to help you deal with the stress
Yes.
from the traffic.
Agreed.
So,
I agree.
But
And-
it felt good.
And the thing is that you have it available to you anytime. You don't need anyone. You don't need to pay anyone. You have your breath. Use it. Become more aware of it. Take conscious breaths. Right? I say
Yes,
conscious
yes.
breaths, right? It's breathing consciously because we're breathing all the time.
Yes.
And we don't pay it any attention. We don't pay attention to the quality of our breath,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
Conscious,
Conscious.
but also that's the same as mindful.
Yes, that mindful
that
breath.
mindfulness is very, key.
100%. So we said, let's revisit our tips again for those who might be just joining us. So we
covered
said
breathing, movement, and nourishment. We talked about music and meditation.
yes, and rest.
Rest.
Right. So all of these things are potential tools that you have at your disposal, available to you at any time. I will give you a bonus tip.
A bonus.
I'm gonna give you a bonus. Turn off the negativity. because that has something to do. That's the input, right?
Ooh,
Turn off the negativity. That's your bonus tip for the day. Turn off the 24-hour news cycle, the scrolling through social media and finding, negativity. People say to me, I don't, social media is so much negativity. Well, you know what I know about the social media algorithm? And this is life. What you focus on is what you get.
Yep.
So if you are constantly getting a stream
It's
and feed of
karmic.
negativity,
It's karma.
that is what
is a karmic energy.
you might be clicking on negative, like something that in like, oh my God, it has you get a visceral or physical response to seeing it or watching it that is not uplifting and encouraging and positive and loving. And because you clicked on that, that's what social media is going to show you again next time.
Continue.
Is if you keep clicking into the negativity on your social media, on your TV in life, you're going to keep getting that back.
And as far as negativity, that transfers over into relationships that are toxic. And I want to say something because one of my my brothers, I sent him a post recently. I'm not going to even discuss what it was, but it was something that was forwarded to me, and I just was led to forward it because it was kind of one of those things that make you want to just shake your head.
Right.
And I think his response was disgusting, and my response was sad. And then he sent me a reply back. He said, "Only happy," and so then I returned a happy post.
So you see,
yeah, and it's hard because you may not click these things on a regular basis. But
somebody may send it to
someone
you.
forwards it to you.
Yes.
Out of that shock, that that visceral reaction that we get.
Yeah.
And it's that chain reaction. So we're sending out frequencies and our energy is being shared with so many people. So sometimes it is difficult when you're dealing with the internet, but you can be very positive with your choices. And I've learned a lot from social media, from the posts and memes, especially around the time of Black History Month. So you find out about so many great
People
Black
of color that we didn't know that. Yeah.
Black historians and just inventors and creators, and I'm just amazed, like, why am I just now hearing about this?
Yeah.
So
but
there's positivity.
I think it's boundaries though. Would you say, like, when you say it's not always necessarily something that you pick up, right? You may not have to click on it, but you have to create boundaries for yourself, like what you will allow into your space. That is a choice.
That's true.
What you allow somebody to send you, what you allow yourself to, feed into, to respond to. You don't have to respond to everything.
Yeah, you don't have
even if you don't agree with it, somebody might post something. You be like, oh, you want to say something. You don't have to. It's a choice. So I mean, really, you have the ability to create the life well lived that you want. It takes practice. It takes consistency. I've been on this journey for a long time. I love how I see now, and I say this, like, man, people, like, my mom was clean eating when I was a kid. Now it's called clean eating.
Right.
Right?
They made a name of
Keto diet.
Marketed.
I mean, the whole veganism, all of this, plant-based. All these things are labels for what we know is our connection back to the most natural way of living, right? And I feel tremendously blessed that I have had the privilege of living well for many, many years, which is why I feel obligated to share, right? Because to whom much is given, much is required. And when you have gifts are meant to be shared, right? So this was our way, right, of sharing with you all our favorite tips. Do you have any more tips you want to share with the people?
Well, we covered quite a bit.
We did.
Movement, music, meditation.
Put my glasses on so I can see. Oh, yes. Okay.
The mind, is a terrible thing to waste.
Remember that?
but I want to definitely talk about the gut-brain connection.
Uh-oh. She plugging me again, y'all.
As I said, the
gut
mind
brain
is a terrible thing to waste. And if you are constantly, taking in toxins,
Okay.
which a lot of people are just not familiar with where toxins may be coming from.
Uh-huh.
I was just speaking to someone dear to me about the containers that our products are, being, put in.
Yes. And I'm happy to say we're using glass.
She uses glass.
This
Now,
is glass.
I have a product that I want to share. It does come in the BPA-free container.
Ooh, that's
However,
good. Yummy.
oh, I can't wait to have mine.
That is yummy, y'all. Moon goddess.
This is my micro mineral drops that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And the micro mineral drops are your micro minerals, your trace minerals, nutrients that would typically be in the form of food. It would come through us rather from our foods, particularly, fresh foods that haven't been, heated
Processed.
above a certain temperature and cooked and processed, etc. So I use that in my water, but I can also use it to enhance the flavor of my food.
Let me put my glasses
And
on.
I use that pretty much on a regular basis. It's something that I recommend quite often.
Oh, yes. It has your minerals, magnesium, chlorides. It has sodium, only 5 milligrams of sodium, potassium, sulfate, lithium. It has 250 milligrams of magnesium. That's a lot.
And that's why you only use up to a teaspoon a day. But you start out with 3 drops, and then you increase it to 10 drops, and then
Oh, nice.
reach your your maximum dosage.
So let me
in
put it up
water
close so
or
people can see it.
juice.
Micro
I know, we have all
minerals.
these cameras.
Right. Okay, so you see the micro minerals there.
So that's just a part of my gut rebuilding program, because I do
Gut
believe
rebuilding.
in
Yes.
keeping the body flowing and moving on the inside as well as on the outside.
Ooh,
So
and
keep
flowing
things
and moving. Let's talk
Yes.
about that. That's that
We
language
want-
people don't
we
want.
want-
We say it. You saying that in a nice way.
Yeah. You have to.
Keeping you
because-
free flowing.
Because of the nature of the work that I do, I get all kinds of interesting comments about my work. But it's very clean. It's a safe environment. I'm very meticulous in particular. I do offer colon hydrotherapy at Sacred Waters. That's my primary service, and I've been offering it there for 13 years. But I've been in that space for about 25 years since I moved here from Los Angeles, California, over 25 years ago. I came here and was working in the health food store, started my own herb shop, juice bar in downtown Atlanta back in the late 90s. And colon cleansing has always been, a issue for, people, a need for people because of their diets and lifestyle, and the upcoming of processed foods, and just not knowing, just not having the education.
Lack of education.
But the gut-brain connection is so powerful. We're talking about, mind-body wellness and your mindset. Your mind is very powerful. So you do want to keep your colon clean in terms of the foods that you're eating, clean foods. So the best way is to just basically live in paradise. Eat like you live in paradise.
All the time.
And that's the challenge that we have here as Americans.
Yeah.
Because the programming starts at a very young age with heavily processed foods,
Yeah.
sodas, snacks, fast foods, et cetera, et cetera. The mad dash 9 to 5. You get home, it's too late to do anything but eat, something that you picked up through the driveway, and that food sticks to the walls of your colon. So I do encourage keeping the colon moving and flowing. So, and I want to be very specific about this. The colon typically is never clean or dirty, but it can be full of a lot of waste. If you're not moving and flowing, the whole digestive process as the body needs on a daily basis,
Regularly.
it builds back up. So you can call it what you want. You can call it dirty or clean. The goal is to keep it moving. It's not to get, my colon is clean. I do reference that and I say that, but I want people to understand it's important to keep it moving, to keep it flowing, because your body is a flow system. We have 7 paths of elimination that we got to focus on: the colon, the kidney, the liver, the spleen, the lymphatic system, your skin, gallbladder, and that is key to your brain. Because if you're not doing well down here, you might not make the best decisions. Your intuition becomes, weakened and lessened. And
Girl, that's a course.
we are naturally designed to use our gut intuition.
Yes.
And I just hate to say it, because I know, Kamika, I can be a little crass sometimes. If you full of shit,
You full of shit.
Yeah.
So if you full of shit,
you can essentially be a good person,
yes,
but things may come out of your mouth
yeah,
that just aren't right.
No, I get it, and I would 100% agree. I mean, I talk about the same thing, right? Because we kombucha is all about gut health, right? And we talk about the fact that the gut is its own brain, right? That gut and the mind brain and the gut brain, those are 2 different brains, right? The gut has its own brain. The gut, I say, is the body's garden or microbiome in scientific terms, right?
It is.
And what do you want in your garden? What do you want growing in your garden? Do you want weeds in your garden?
You want good bacteria growing.
You want good stuff. Right. You want the
good
good stuff growing.
bacteria, hence,
Yes. Yes.
kombucha,
Yes.
which is essentially providing you good bacteria.
So,
you want that balance.
Yes.
And balance isn't always 50-50.
Yes.
When we're talking about the microbiome, we're talking about a balance of good and bad. And I use this analogy all the time, because you have good people on this earth and you got bad people on this earth. But you got good people who have some bad and some good.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of balancing. So for me, I have to balance my grit, this edgy self, with my grace.
Grit and
and
grace.
I do it
I
in
love it.
My grit and my grace.
Yes.
That's my hashtag, y'all. Don't.
Grit and grace.
Balancing
I
my
love
grit
it.
and my grace
Yes.
is something that I always have to, ground myself to make sure that, I'm centered as I need to be. So I want to have, more grace than grit. But sometimes, because I was for a very long time the only girl, of 2 older brothers. I was the smallest of, I grew up with like 52 first cousins, and I was, the smallest until the other ones came along, and then they became even bigger than me. So, and just hanging out with, family, and wanting to fit in and be seen, amongst the people who are averaging 5'10",
right,
and 5'11", and 6'2" in my family. That grit, it was always something that I felt like I had to push out. And balancing that grit and grace is important. So
I love that. I love that grit and grace. I might have to borrow that hashtag. Grit and grace. So we're gonna wrap up. Oh yes, we're gonna wrap. Y'all have been with us for a whole hour, and we are so grateful. Thank you so much. So remember our tips: breath, movement, nourishment, rest,
music,
meditation. What else did we say? Was that it? Creating those boundaries. Gotta have those boundaries.
Keeping the negativity.
Yeah, keep that negativity away.
Keeping that negativity
Create your
down.
boundaries. Yeah, and taking the good, y'all. Taking the good. If you want to know more about Jorae, if you don't already, on Instagram, you can follow her page. It's
Sacred Waters Wellness. And if you want to know more about Kamiko,
yes,
you can follow her page. It is
Kombucha, and I actually have 2 Instagram pages, right, for my body. Yes.
Okay.
So I have Kombucha, which is just like my name, Kamiko. And if you're on my IG, you know it's KEMBOOCHA.
It's really good kombucha, and I haven't opened mine yet, but this is my favorite one. The
Is
Moon
this your
Goddess.
favorite
This
one?
is
I didn't
my
know
favorite.
Moon Goddess was your favorite.
I like the Moon Goddess.
Oh my gosh, Moon Goddess is a favorite.
Gosh.
Yes.
The moon, come on.
The moon, yes. Take it to the moon.
It's
and
really
then
tasty.
my second page, and both on IG and Facebook, is Harmony Wellness Angels, right? Harmony Wellness Angels.
Okay, well, let me get my plug in.
Yes.
I have a page called The Healer Shop that
Yes.
I will be putting more and more of my products that we offer at Sacred Waters, crystals, gemstones, teas, just really interesting new items that will be available will be on the Healer Shop, and you can find that from my Sacred Waters page for those who are on there. So please follow that page, share with your friends.
Yes.
If you have further questions about the services, the products that we each offer, please DM or drop a comment.
Yes, let us know.
We'll look it up. This has been beautiful.
It's
Thank
been
you
wonderful.
so much
Yes, and
for hanging out with us
Yes,
today.
and we also share each other's, right? Like we follow each other. So if you're on Jorae's page, you can
Yes.
check me out. But also, kombucha is sold now at Sacred Waters
It
Wellness.
is.
It's sold at Sacred Waters Wellness. So we want
Yes.
you to know that if you're in the Fayetteville area and you're looking to try the product, not only can you find us on your website, on my website, and the website also gives you all the other locations we're sold at. But Sacred Waters Wellness is there, and that is another
Yes,
one of
yes.
our business partners. So we are very grateful for Jorae, for
I'm
her
grateful
business.
for you.
Yes, for her support. This has been fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was chilly, but it was
And
warm.
this, when
Yeah.
she starts back her yoga,
Oh yes.
you have to come out here because it is absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
It is if you are a spirited person, if you are a tree hugger,
A tree hugger.
this is the
Come
place
on and
that
hug
you
some
wanna
trees
come.
with us.
If
Yes.
you like to, run around in the yard
Yeah.
and bury yourself in the leaves, I mean,
Yes.
this is the perfect place for it.
Yes, and so to Jorae's point, we will be back with our outdoor live yoga sessions in the spring when it's warm, just like we did in the fall. They were, because of the pandemic, we started those outdoor yoga sessions, and they were very well received by the community. So we'll be bringing it back again, and we look forward to seeing you. So thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you so much for joining us.
We gotta go.
Love you.
Love you all, and we gotta go turn off all these different devices.
Aw,
But thank you so much. So many hugs. Yes, let me. I've been hugging people backwards these days, right? Like the backwards hug. So turn around.
Okay.
Turn around. So you take a hug here. You take a hug here. Wait, this. Take an arm. And you just hug backwards. Thank y'all.
you.
Peace,
Love you.
y'all. Love you. Okay. Okay. So we gotta end that. Gotta end that. Okay, I'll end this. Finish. There. And the video.